For decades, beauty was treated as a form of social currency. Psychologists even have a term for it: the halo effect, the cognitive bias where attractive people are automatically perceived as more competent, kind, and valuable. For a long time, that bias worked, but the world has changed. And if you're new here, or you've been here before, welcome back to Main Character. The inflation of beauty. In economics, inflation happens when something becomes abundant, reducing its value. The same principle now applies to beauty. With social media, filters, cosmetic procedures, and aesthetic trends, beauty is no longer rare. It is optimized, copied, and mass-produced. Research in media psychology shows that constant exposure to idealized faces leads to desensitization. The brain stops reacting with the same level of interest. What once felt special now feels familiar, and familiarity kills fascination. Why the halo effect is weakening. Studies in social psychology suggest that the halo effect is strongest in short-term, low-stakes interactions. But in long-term contexts, relationships, careers, influence, appearance quickly loses power. People begin to evaluate consistency, emotional regulation, communication skills, values. Attractiveness may open the door, but it does not keep people inside the room. The attention economy changed the rules. We are living in what researchers call the attention economy, where human focus is the most valuable resource. Beauty no longer guarantees attention because attention is overloaded. Algorithms reward originality, engagement, relatability, not just looks. When everyone looks good, the question becomes, why should I listen to you? Emotional intelligence as the new magnet. Psychologist Daniel Goleman's work on emotional intelligence explains why some people feel magnetic without being conventionally attractive. They read the emotional temperature of a room, respond rather than react, make others feel safe and understood. In a fast, overstimulated world, emotional safety has become seductive. Calm is attractive. Clarity is attractive. Self-awareness is attractive. Identity over image. Modern psychology emphasizes identity coherence, knowing who you are and acting in alignment with it. People with strong identity are less performative, less approval-seeking, more grounded. They don't need to prove their worth visually, and that confidence reads as power. Why depth feels rare now. Sociologists note that surface-level interactions dominate digital spaces. Endless scrolling trains the brain to skim, not reflect, react, not process. Depth requires slowness, and slowness feels radical today. This is why people who think deeply, speak intentionally, and move with purpose stand out. Not because they are louder, but because they are solid. Pretty versus presence. Presence is the ability to be fully there. Studies in interpersonal psychology show that people remember presence more than appearance. We remember who listened, who understood, who made space. Presence is felt, beauty is seen, and feeling always lasts longer than seeing. The psychological cost of relying on beauty. Research also shows that people who base their self-worth primarily on appearance experience higher anxiety, fragile self-esteem, fear of aging or irrelevance. When beauty becomes identity, time becomes a threat. But when identity is internal, time becomes irrelevant. What actually matters now? In today's world, the most influential people are not the prettiest. They are the most integrated. They combine self-awareness, emotional depth, intellectual curiosity, ethical clarity. They don't just attract attention, they hold it. Pretty might get you noticed, but depth gets you chosen. And in an era flooded with images, substance has become the rarest form of beauty. What matters now is not how perfectly you fit the frame, but what remains after the image fades. If this perspective resonated with you, support the channel by liking and subscribing. More psychological and cultural deep dives are coming.